I just recorded this whole video and then realised that I did it in the wrong way. I need to do it on landscape for YouTube, don't I? But anyway, guys, hope you're all good. I wanted to record today's video just to help you at this time where the weather is absolutely boiling. I'm literally wiping sweat from my forehead. I've got the window open, I'm trying to work, and this is so challenging to navigate, right? And it's going to become even more challenging when you guys are exercising, when you're training and when you're trying to recover. And training and recovery are like the two things that are going to get your body to adapt the way you want it to, right? And achieve the outcomes that you guys want. So here's the problem. If we don't add in some actionable steps around this time of year, or when the days are hot, you're going to go into your training sessions, your performance will be worse, and you're going to leave feeling a bit crap, not feeling like you've achieved much. And when you're trying to recover and you're trying to sleep, which is going to fuel your energy and recover from your training and give you energy to perform, not just at the gym, but also in day-to-day life, work, etc., you're not going to feel as good at all, and your overall performance is going to decline. So we want to avoid that, or try and minimize it. Now, the first thing is our bodies, if you're in the UK, probably aren't very well adapted to heat at all. Okay, so we are all going to be struggling, and naturally performance will probably decline a little bit. Like my heart rate in my session this morning was higher than what it would normally be. That's because my body's working harder at the same effort level because my body's hotter. Okay, so I'm sweating a lot more as well. Okay, let's dive in. So I'm going to keep it really simple to start. I've got my notebook here, and I want to make sure I cover everything. So nice and simple to start. Hydration, keep it easy. You're going to be sweating more than usual. I'm sweating right now, right? So if you're sweating more than usual, not only are you using, obviously sweating out your water, right? But also you're going to be sweating out key electrolytes. These electrolytes are what's going to regulate your fluid balance in and out of the cell. They're going to regulate your hydration levels, right? If they go the wrong way and you're not replenishing, not just obviously through water, but through electrolytes too in adequate amounts, then it means that the concentration of electrolytes like your sodium, your magnesium, potassium, etc. is going to be off. You're going to be dehydrated, and you're going to then suffer from the negatives that come with being dehydrated. We don't want that. So I would recommend that everyone has an electrolyte tablet or some form of electrolytes to add to your drink. You could have that just during the day, or I would definitely recommend that when expenditure is higher, so you're going to be sweating more, i.e. a training session, that you've got an electrolyte in your drink, because you need to replenish what's being expended, right? Okay, make that a focus. Also, you could just add more salt to your food. That's great, like more sodium. But again, you're not just going to be losing sodium when you sweat, so we want to replenish what we're losing. Next thing, what have I put here? Freeze your water bottle. Keep it simple. Like, if we're cold, we'll have a hot water bottle, right? That helps, right? Let's do the opposite. Freeze the water bottle. That's going to help cool you down. I need to do that. Okay, pre-training. So this is where you're going to get the most value from it. So before a training session, the mistake you could make is if you go into it and you're already boiling hot, you're sweating, you feel a bit heavy, lethargic, you're not going to train well. And we know that these training sessions are what's going to move the needle with your physique development, your running goals, your physique goals, whatever it is that you guys are working towards, right? You're all different individuals inside the program. But what I wanted to focus on is adding a few of these strategies into your routine for at least obviously the days that are hot, and I promise you'll notice a difference. First thing, cool your body's temperature before you go into the workout. So I think having a cold shower, not freezing cold, but cold, is brilliant, because you go into the gym and you're not feeling absolutely boiling straight away. So let's say you go into the gym and you're already warm, straight away you're fighting that, like, all the negatives that come with that. This time it's going to take a lot longer to get to that point, which is great, because it means that you're not going to have the negatives that would be associated with starting to feel dehydrated and really hot and lethargic, and yeah, that's going to obviously decrease performance. So it's going to take a lot longer for anything like that to set in. That's really helped me, and I make sure to do that through every session. Like, I'm training, what's the time now? 11:45. I'll be training in probably 2 hours. It's going to be pretty hot, so I'm going to do that as well. So definitely recommend that this week or whenever it's warm. And the next thing I put here is train earlier or later. I know it's difficult. You probably, like, some of you won't be able to, kids, other commitments. But my biggest advice is if you can train earlier or train later, that's going to just help you, because the weather's going to be cooler. It's not going to be as hot, which means naturally, right, you're not going to be sweating as much, and you're not going to have the negatives of overheating. What else have I put? Reduce warm-up time. Something here that's probably going to be overlooked, but if you normally do 10 minutes on the bike to warm up, just do 3, 4 or 5 minutes. Like, you're already going to be feeling pretty warm, right? I would just reduce the time you're doing your warm up and your mobility. That's my personal opinion. Others might say different, but that's what I'm doing myself, because I feel good to go pretty much after 5 minutes on the bike. I'm warm, blood pumping, I've got a sweat on, I'm ready to go. Okay. Final thing on this section, pre-gym, is like, obviously you're staying hydrated, you've cooled your body temperature down, you're training a little bit earlier, a little bit later. Reduce warm-up time when you get there. The final thing is what you wear. So don't be wearing like baggy, oversized clothing, or like dark colours and cotton. Like, be mindful about what you wear. Make sure it's breathable. Make sure it's light. That's going to be really helpful for you guys. Just you want to feel comfortable, and you don't want to feel like you're just overheating in what you're wearing. So make that a focus. Next thing, track your body weight every single day. I get you guys as my clients to track your body weight daily anyway, because your body weight will always fluctuate. Loads of different reasons for why it's going to fluctuate, but specifically I want you to do that now because we're going to have a loads of data from the times you guys have weighed in, especially if you've been with me for a while. But what we can do now is if it goes down quite significantly, I'm going to know that it's probably a good chance that you might be dehydrated, okay, if it just randomly shoots down quite significantly. So that's good to keep an eye on. So keep the weigh-ins daily, right, non-negotiable. And the final thing I want to talk about in this video is sleep, because sleep's when you adapt to the hard work of the gym, the training that you're doing, and sleep is also going to allow you to feel energized to perform well in the day, and that's going to promote energy for what you do at work, family time, friends, and of course your training too, right? So we want to get that right. So again, I would have like a cold shower, not an ice cold shower, but like something quite cold before, so you can lower your core temperature. Nothing worse than going to bed and just feeling like sweaty already and like it's horrible. You're sticky, you're sweaty, and it's boiling in your room. So yeah, let's have a cold shower before. That's going to help. I would also, during the day, keep your blinds shut as well. I've only opened them because better lighting, but I would keep the blinds shut. I would keep the curtains closed, keep it dark, because that's going to keep heat out of the room too. I've also put here that I would want you as well to think about, I can't even read my own handwriting, it's shocking. Eat further away from bed. So if you eat like half an hour before bed and you haven't really digested it, your body's working harder, which means more calories, more energy to digest that food. You don't want it to be doing that before bed anyway, especially not when it's hot, because then your body's working even harder. You don't want that before bed at all. That's going to also be added discomfort whilst you're already probably overheating. And then I've said freeze the hot water bottle, but also you could freeze some bits inside the pillowcase, right? Put some frozen bits inside the pillowcase. That's going to massively cool it down. And then you might leave that for, I don't know, an hour or so before bed. And then there you go, you can put it back in the freezer, up to you. But that's going to cool down your sheets as well, which is going to help you. Another thing that I like to do, I like to put a cold flannel on my head and on my, I'll dab it on my cheeks, but I'll sit it on my forehead, and that again cools me down. I'm always trying to cool down my head and then cool down my lower body, my feet really, and that's going to help to bring your core temperature down. So add some of these tips in. Let me know in the WhatsApp group chat Made for More channel exactly what you found most helpful around this video and what you're going to implement moving forward. Let's look for opportunities to progress. Let's not use the warm weather as an excuse. I understand it's going to be difficult. It's more difficult for me, everyone. But let's work around it. Let's be solution focused. It's going to get you further than if we make excuses around the heat. Hope that's helped.